I have a notepad problem. Pretty notepads. And if they were ugly notepads, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But it's got, see, kitties and floral stuff and fancy looking writing from the first century. And anybody know what those are? There's 4 of them. That's a clue. Monet, fancy pearls. The Monet kind of got out of hand because not only did I have to have a box with Monet papers in it, look at that. Then I had to have a paperweight to match it. Post-it notes of every size and variety and color. Those I use like crazy, actually. But the rest of these, you know the problem with this? I need to stop buying pretty notepads because I don't want to use them. I've used this one. Though you can't tell, I think I took 1 page out of it. Ooh, 1 page. But the rest of these, they're too pretty to use. I don't want to mess them up, right? It looks so nice and crisp and perfect. And I don't want to mess up the binding because I think I'm a little OCD with that. I need to buy ugly notepads so that I actually use them because Lord knows I have plenty of uses for lined paper because I am a crazy list person. But I use like the ugly paper and the ugly notepads, like the yellow ruled ones that you can get from the office supply store at any given moment. That's what I use for my lists. These, I feel like something meaningful should go in these. My life is a series of lists. And I swear, I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. My life seriously is a series of lists. I would be lost without my lists. I'm definitely a list person. And if I'm not writing a list for what I need to get done, then most of it's not going to get done. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But yeah, I have a list for everything. It's I don't know, maybe it's list disease. Does that exist? Chronic list syndrome. There's got to be some explanation for this out there. On a regular basis, I have a list for today. I might have a list for tomorrow. I might have a list for next week. I definitely have a list for like next spring. Most of that's probably yard related. I have a list of vlogs I want to do. I have a list of tags I want to do. I have a grocery list. I have a shopping list. I definitely have an Xmas list, otherwise I'd be completely lost that time of year. I have a wish list. I have a bucket list. Now that's a fun one at least. I have a list of restaurants my husband and I want to go to when we decide we want to go out to eat and can't figure out where we want to go. I have a house chores list that's larger than your average house chore, like paint the front door or something like that. I have a special list just for those. I have a honey-do list. All wives have a honey-do list. If I'm going on vacation, I have to write out a list of stuff that I need to pack. If I'm going on a weekend camping trip, I have to do that. And actually, that's a valid one right now. A friend of mine and I, we do girly camping for an elongated weekend every October. And it's just her and I, and we go and have fun. And we start our list. We're both listers. Either that or I've turned her into a list person. I don't know. We start that list going back and forth like a month in advance. And we have that going already, just like we do every year. Yeah, I'm a list person. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I could just keep going and going with the lists that I have. And seeing scratched off items on a list, it completes me. It makes me feel good because then when I write tomorrow's list, I don't have to transfer the unscratched off items onto the new list because that would make me feel less accomplished, I guess. Slightly depressing. You know, when you make a new list, everything on that list should be new. It shouldn't be from yesterday. Because if it's from yesterday, either A, I was lazy, or I didn't feel like doing it, or I ran out of time, or life got in the way, or who knows what. They're all reasons I don't like. A list person doesn't like not completing their list. That's the whole point of a list, to get from A to Z. in whatever allotment of time you've specified on this list. And if I write a list, I don't always write a list when I'm at home. Sometimes something will come to me when I'm at work, and I have notepads and post-it notes all over my desk for every reason imaginable. And if something comes to me when I'm at work, I'll write a little list out of things, like say I think of a bunch of things I want to get done tonight. I'll write out a list, and most of the time I'll put that list by my purse so I don't forget it. But if I do forget it, then I'm really up a creek, because I'll get home, I'll know that there's things I wanted to get done, but I'll have to sit down at this, I'm at my kitchen table right now, I'll have to sit down at this kitchen table and rewrite the list out. Think it through from A to Z, make sure I've got everything on the list, and then I'll get up and start doing my stuff. Because if I don't do that, I'll spend half the night wondering if I remembered everything that was on the list in the first place. Or I won't be able to sleep because I'll think that I forgot to do something that I wanted to do that maybe was really important. Chances are it wasn't. And I'll see the list that I forgot tomorrow morning on my desk. A normal person would wait 24 hours and just do it the following night. No, not me. Not me. It's just the way my brain works. I'm a list person. So, of course, while I need my lists, and my life is a series of lists can stress me out. Of course they can stress me out. Anything can stress me out. I find ways for things to stress me out. With the lists, it's kind of funny. Like I said, kitchen table's right here. Half the time my list will reside in the middle of this kitchen table. My daily list, my weekend list. That's a popular one with me. I will write a list of stuff that I want to get done, no matter how minute, on this weekend. And I'll sit it in the middle of this kitchen table. Well, the problem with that is what if someone comes over unannounced and they see my list? What if there's like one thing scratched off on that list? Or worse, what if there's nothing scratched off on that list? Then they might think I'm lazy. Or what if my house is a mess and they see that list and there's a whole bunch of things scratched off on that list? Then they might think, oh, well, hell, look at her house. But hey, she's busy. She must be busy. Look at her list. She's got stuff scratched off. She's trying. Cut the girl some slack. But if you don't have anything scratched off on that list, what do they think? It's a problem. It really is. But I need my lists. I can't go without my lists. Cannot go without my lists. You can look at my YouTube channel and see that. I have a gazillion playlists. I cannot put a video up without it being part of a playlist. Now, maybe for a new subscriber that happens to stumble upon my channel, maybe that's handy. I don't know. Maybe it makes my channel look organized. I don't know if people care about that. All I know is I care about that. Because if I go and I can't find something I'm looking for, it's going to drive me crazy. So I want everything on a playlist. I've got a Vlogtober playlist. I've got a Veda playlist. So now that I'm doing both of those for my second time around, those playlist names have changed to include years. And I've got a TTC playlist, and now I've got a Feebits playlist, just in case you were wondering and you wanted to see all of them all at once. I can't imagine why someone would do that. I don't know. And I have videos that sometimes need to be on more than one playlist. That's when it starts getting out of hand. Makes you wonder if you have too many playlists. Not that I'll stop making lists, whether they're virtual, electronic, or handwritten, or on my phone, or lists are part of my life. It's like in my genetics, it's in my blood. I can't stop doing it. Maybe it's OCD, but it would be OCD particularly only for lists. Does it exist? I don't know. But, the other thing I've noticed is either you're a list person or you're not. Obviously, I'm a list person. I think we've covered this. But a non-list person might look at my lists on an extra crazy day. Let's say I'm having an absolutely crazy day. There's 45 things on my list. And right in the middle of that list, it says lunch. Or further down, it says go home. And a non-list person would look at that and say, you're going to forget to have lunch if you didn't write it down? No, I'm not going to forget to have lunch if I didn't write it down. Come on. This should be obvious. It's there for organizational purposes. These are the things I want to get done before lunch. These are the things I want to get done after lunch. These are the things I want to get done after I go home. I mean, who would forget to go home? Yeah, it has to be a disease. It needs a name, and not just like list phobia. It needs a special name. something that can affect a person's life this much should have a pretty cool name, right? I don't know. Leave me a comment below. What do you think it should be called? Because this is not something that I will ever be cured of. I'm not quite sure if I want to be cured of it. I would be lost. Really, I would be lost. And I wouldn't be Fee. I wouldn't be Fee. This is Fee. I'm a list person. Are you a list person? Talk to you guys later. Bye.